What's up, everybody? So today in this video, I just want to go through a few things that I think is really important to understand, especially if you're coming up new in the industry as an artist. The different roles that like a director plays, a lead plays, and then like the project manager, and then the producer as well, because I think that could easily be confusing, especially depending on where you're coming from. If you're doing indie, AAA, double A, depending on the studio, you might not have, you might have somebody who be might be doubling up on certain roles. I'm going to be speaking in general terms here, and this is mostly from me having more experience in AAA, meaning that the team does have the resources to have like specific people in those certain roles. So just making sure you keep that in mind. But I think overall, this is going to be very useful, anyways. So let's start more on the art side of things. So the director, okay, and this is to keep things very, very simple. The director, their role is to figure out the what and the why. The producer might have a game feature, an idea. The director needs to figure out what what that is, right? They know the what because the producer is asking for it, and then why they're going with that art style, and that direction to help sell whatever it is that game feature is, right? Okay, so now the lead, right? So you have your art lead. They're the ones that needs to figure out how are we going to achieve it because they have the most technical background. They'll understand the system better and how to best achieve it. And then the who is going to tackle it on the team, right? And then where is that going to be tackled? And then the who and the where actually is going to be a partnership between them and like the project manager, the person who helps manage the resources. So the lead and the project manager typically has to work really closely together. They're close knit. They're partners essentially on figuring out how to best achieve everything. Like the project manager has to figure out how to achieve these things within the schedule, right? And who. So how, who, and where also applies to the project manager. Project manager has to figure out how it's going to fit in the schedule, who's going to be allocated to it, and where is the work going to come from? Is it going to come from external partners? Is it going to come from internal artists? And then where inside the production cycle this work can get done. Now, the role of the producer is they need to make sure that everybody's talking together to reach that final goal. If it's the game feature, for example. So they're the ones that needs to talk to the art directors, gameplay directors, the game designers, uh, you know, um, the project managers, to make sure that everybody understands what their role is, the dependencies between them, and then making sure that you know everything is moving forward. And if there's any issues and blockers, that everybody kind of talks to each other. That's kind of the role of the producer. Um, and so their role is quite high level, and they're the ones who does a lot of the communicating and the vision of what it is that they're expecting to see, for the end product. So hopefully that little quick roundup of what an art director, an art lead, and a project manager and a producer helps new artists who are jumping into industry understand a little bit more of what their roles, the upper leadership roles are, um, in an art team. All right. Well, thank you so much. See you all again next time.